Welcome to Denver Parks and Recreation at Home. My name is Vince, and this is No Sew Tie Blankets. Today for our No Sew Tie Blankets, we're going to make a nice little lap blanket, just like this one, and we're also going to cover a pillow. Our supplies that we're going to need is whatever anti-pill fleece that you have at home or you want to get. I've got a bunch of different patterns here, different colors. You'll need a pillow that you want to cover up, a good pair of sewing scissors, and either a ruler or some sort of template that you can make. This one is simply just cut out of the corner of a box. What's great about these blankets is that they're so customizable. You just find a good pattern or a good set of colors and you can choose whatever you want for them. They're great for leaving in your car, taking to the park and laying down on the grass, or even just covering up your legs when you're watching the little kiddos playing soccer or football. Today for our No Sew Tie Blanket, I'm going to use these patterns here. So I've got this fly fishing or regular fishing, there's a couple of flies and some bobbles there, pattern that I really liked. What you always want to do is you want to choose two patterns or colors that are really going to go together and help each other. So I chose this dark green because it really goes well with the green on those fish hooks. I chose this pattern because I wanted to give it as a gift. The size of the blanket is really up to you. You can choose a size. I'm choosing about 5 feet by 4 feet for today's project. We'll start the project down here in the corner. I've got my ruler here. I want to measure out a nice square 4 inches by 4 inches. This is where I made this template. It comes in really handy. I'll just place that right here, and taking my good pair of scissors, I'll go ahead and cut out that corner. Just like that. Once I have that corner removed, I'm going to go ahead and finish up doing the other 3 corners. Now that we have our corners cut out, we're going to go ahead and start working on those fringes that we're going to tie together later. Those fringes, you're going to want their width to be about 1.5 to 2 inches, and you want the length to be all the way up that 4 inch, just like the corner that you cut out. We're going to start right here and work our way down our blanket. I'm going to do 2 inches here. It's going to leave nice big tassels and it's going to look like great bows once we're done tying them together. All the way down. What's great about this project is you can have a few mistakes here and there. You'll see as we get down this blanket here that they're not exactly the same shape. It's okay as long as they're very similar. In the end, once it's all tied and stretched out, it's going to look beautiful. This is one of those parts of this project that's going to work really well when you have that big space like this table here. Or if you need, go ahead and clear a spot in the living room, on the ground, somewhere nice and clean. Take up as much space as you want. It's what I do. It's probably not the best, but it's fun, right? Here's where I was meaning. You see that green's just a tad bit longer than that blue, and that's okay. We're still going to cut about those 4 inches. We'll keep on going. We'll get right here to the edge. And sometimes this might not be 2 inches, that's okay. Get it as close as you can to the edge. Now that we've finished one side, it's time to rotate that project and continue working along that side. Taking that ruler, once again 2 inches. And we're just going to continue this around until we've gotten all the way back to where we started in the first place. we are. Once we've finished with all those tassels, it's time for the fun part. We're going to go ahead and start on this corner. I'm going to take those two corresponding tassels and I'm going to tie them into one nice knot together and pull that tight. I'm going to double knot that just to make sure that that knot stays and won't come out. Once I've got that kind of tight, I'm going to stretch. By stretch, I mean just a little yank. You might hear some of the fabric tearing. That's okay. We don't need any Hercules pulls, but just a little stretch to make sure that that knot is in and we've got plenty of room to tie the next one. And we'll just keep moving around our blanket, tying double knots and then little stretch. Double knot and stretch. Now in some cases, just like this, you might realize you didn't cut it deep enough to make that full stretch. That's okay. Go and pull that open again, stretch it out, and you can add just a little bit of a cut just to make sure you've got enough room to finish that. Snip, snip. Making sure I don't cut that knot. And now I can continue and tie that. Plenty more room. Look at that. And stretch. We'll continue this all the way around the blanket, back to our starting point. You might find that it will be a little bit easier or a little bit more sturdy if you use a longer width or a shorter width. And you can experiment with that over your different kind of projects that you do. We've got a couple more here, and then we're going to give it one final stretch just to make sure that all those knots are tight and this blanket really kind of relaxes into the shape that I want it to relax into. Awesome. So I'm going to give that one final stretch all the way around. Just make sure that it's relaxed and it's not bunched up anywhere. And voila, we have ourselves a blanket. So this is the final product. Nice color, it matches. It's the perfect size to wrap around your shoulders for that cold evening out, and a great gift to give to anyone. Now that we've got our blanket done, we're going to go ahead and cover a pillow. I chose this fabric for this pillow because I really like the rose pattern. It's really pretty. And I thought a lighter gray would kind of accentuate with that dark gray. We're going to go ahead and start. I already have the pattern cut out here. I'm going to go ahead and do two sides here. same fashion, I'm going to go ahead and tie those together and give a double knot and then give it a little stretch. Awesome. We've got two sides down, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to stretch this out because I really want to make sure it's got extra room for that pillow to fit right inside there. I'm going to go ahead and take that pillow. Right here I've got 16 inches. What that means is when I cut out this fabric, I started with 24 inches, cut out those 4-inch squares, and then did 4-inch tassels. We're going to go ahead and open this up now in between. Nice little pocket, and I'm going to go ahead and place the pillow inside and pull that fabric over. It's okay if it's a little bit tight. Remember that this fleece is going to be pretty stretchy, so once you get done tying, it should stretch right over that pillow. From here, I'm just going to go ahead and continue around the other two sides to tie that pillow inside. Don't forget the stretch. So here we have our finished product. I fully encased the pillow. It looks beautiful. Now that after you've mastered this project, if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can take different patterns and cut them into smaller squares and go ahead and quilt them together, patching them here. And you can use that full piece then to do these same products, either the pillow or the blanket, however long you want it to be. That's what I got here. So here we have our final products, this nice cozy blanket, this beautiful pillow, and a start to a new project, maybe another pillow. I want to thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time.